Hey everyone, today we're moving on to Lesson 9, Day 2, Estimating Roots. Our objective is still to estimate square and cube roots. Please make sure you have something to write on, something to write with, and be watching for the cues in the video on problems that you should try, and so forth. So today we're going to be looking at estimating roots in an applied sense. So we'll be working through some word problems. So let's get started with number 3. Wyatt wants to fence in a square portion of the yard to make a play area for his new puppy. The area covered is 2 square meters. How much fencing should Wyatt buy? So if you'll notice, we've got a diagram of his play area. It's 2 meters squared, so that means each side is the square root of 2 meters long. So Wyatt will need 4 times the square root of 2 meters of fencing. The square root of 2 is between 1 and 2, so 4 times the square root of 2 is between 4 and 8. Is this the best approximation? You can truncate the decimal expansion of the square root of 2 to find better approximations. So first, we're going to estimate the square root of 2 by truncating or dropping the digits after the first decimal place, then after the second decimal place, and so on until an appropriate approximation is reached. So we're going to use a calculator to find the square root of 2, and that's approximately 1.41213, this long decimal. So we're going to truncate that or cut it off at 1.4. So our decimal approximation for the square root of 2 will be approximately 1.4. And then we have to think about, where does 4 times the square root of 2 fall between, as far as values are concerned? And it falls between 5.6 and 6.0. So to find a closer approximation, we're going to expand the square root of 2, then truncate the decimal expansion after the first 2 decimal places. So the square root of 2 is approximately 1.41. So by looking at this more closely, we can find that 4 times the square root of 2 falls between 5.64 and 5.68. So we've gotten more accurate because we've extended our value out 1 more decimal place instead of 5.6 and 6.0. So the approximations indicate that Wyatt should buy 6 meters of fencing. Let's take a look at one more example. The golden rectangle is found frequently in the nautilus shell. The length of the longer side divided by the length of the shorter side is equal to 1 plus the square root of 5 over 2. Estimate this value. So first we have to estimate the value of the square root of 5. We know that 5 falls between the perfect squares 4 and 9. So 4 is equal to 2 squared, 9 is equal to 3 squared, and 5 falls directly between those two values. Now we find the square root of each number. The square root of 2 squared is 2, the square root of 3 squared is 3, the square root of 5 is the square root of 5. So since 5 is closer to 4 than 9, the best integer estimate for the square root of 5 is 2. Use this value to evaluate the expression. So we would have 1 plus the square root of 5 over 2 is approximately 1 plus 2 over 2, or 1.5. So your assignment for today is page 85, number 1, 3, 6, 8, and 12. Please make sure to complete your assignment on Canvas or on paper and turn into this post when you're finished. And remember, you can look back at yesterday's video, Lesson 9, Day 1, and today's video, Lesson 9, Day 2, as a helpful review if you get stuck on any of the problems.